Hello, everyone out there. Thank you for joining us. This is another episode of FaB GaB, and we have a ranking show today. We're going to be talking about the Decca auditions, and I'm joined here by two of my friends. To start with, we have Tim Allen, who is known for his Snap Crackle Pop podcast. Snap Crackle and Pop podcast. Is that it?
Yes, the Snap, Crackle, and Pop Vinyl Hour.
Vinyl Hour. Damn. When do I get this stuff written down so I know? But Kit is with me. This other nice person who, of course, I do a show with, Talk More Talk, which is also on you can find on YouTube. And I got her books right here. Songs we were singing, guided tours through the Beatles' lesser known tracks. Fandom and the Beatles, the act you've known for all these years. I'm talking about the Queen, Kit O'Toole. Kit, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Always glad to be here.
All right. And, what made me want to do this was I started realizing, and I'm kind of late on this, like about 7 months late, that this is the anniversary, if you will, the anniversary of the Beatles' failed Decca auditions. And I should have done this January. New Year's Day would have been perfect. They because of course the Beatles did these recordings for Decca, the tests, on January 1st, 1962. At that time, New Year's Day was not a public holiday in England. But it still was after New Year's Eve, and some people had some drinks. I think, if my history is correct, yeah, Mike Smith, who was the Decca A&R executive, had a few too many maybe when he had traveled to Liverpool to see the Beatles at the Cavern Club, and was impressed enough to ask Brian Epstein to bring the group down to London for this test. And well, first of all, before we start, because we're going to rank these songs, attempt to do that, 15 songs they recorded. With Pete Best on drums, Ringo had not joined the band yet, so Pete Best is the drummer on all these. I want to get some general feeling. What do you think, Tim? What do you think of these sessions and the whole shebang?
I think that they're very weird sessions. It seems to me that either the Beatles themselves were maybe hungover, or they weren't taking it seriously, or maybe Brian Epstein had some words with them. Because it seems to me, you compare this to the Star Club recordings, and it's a completely different thing. And it reminds me of Bob Dylan's first album, where Bob Dylan wasn't anything like Bob Dylan was on his first album. These strike me as the same thing, that it's not really what the Beatles were at the time. They're just very odd sessions. I see why they didn't pass the audition. To be
Yeah,
honest,
I personally think that there were weak choices for the most part. Weak
yeah,
song choices, handpicked
yeah,
by Brian Epstein himself.
yeah,
I think to show the diversity, all the different things the Beatles could do. There were
yeah,
three originals that the Beatles wrote, or John and Paul, wrote, and the rest are all covers. And it's easy in hindsight to say not very Beatle-like, this
yeah.
stuff. And I don't think personally that the Beatles themselves or bringing their A game on this particular
No.
occasion. Kit, what do you think?
Yeah, it was kind of a perfect storm of things that went wrong. They as you mentioned earlier, Joe, it was New Year's Day, so I don't think the Beatles were like super hungover or anything, as I think I read that they were careful not to do that. As Billy Spleen mentioned, I was going to just mention that. Boy, did they sound nervous. I mean, Paul in particular, which
Yeah.
we'll talk about
Hmm.
as we rank the tracks. So they sounded nervous. They weren't using their usual amps because they were told no, you have to use the studio amps, so they weren't used to using their usual equipment. As you mentioned, Tim, the tracks that were picked, I have a feeling it was the case that some of the tracks I bet sounded great live. Like if,
Yeah.
some of them that it probably when they played them, whether it was, at the Star Club or at the Cavern, they probably sounded great live, and they really could, like GaB or something. They sounded, they really hammed it up. The crowd loved it. But when you're just playing it in the studio to nobody but the engineer, it just
Good
falls
point.
flat.
Good point.
Yeah, and so I mean, I would have loved to have heard them. I mean, we heard a little bit of this, of course, in those Star Club tapes, but it was wrong to audition with that. I mean, it just did not work. So it was just a cluster, whatever, of things that went wrong. So as you said, Tim, weird. They're just weird. Not representative of the Beatles.
No.
I think that, in my opinion, which we'll get into, as the performances, vocals, instrumentation, whatever, I thought George was on mark here. I thought George was probably in best form
Yes.
out of all of them. With Paul it being in least form, which is astonishing for me to think that in today's world. But I thought he was he was the
Yeah.
weakest actually at this
Yeah.
occasion. So
Yep.
and I can understand why they were turned down based on these performances,
Yeah.
and of course they passed and went with Brian Poole and the Tremolos, and we're told that supposedly I have two things on this. The famous quote, it's supposedly, uh, allegedly, Dick Rose said guitar groups are on the way out. He told
Yeah.
Brian Epstein, and that's in Brian Epstein's book. Uh, that he supposedly said that, but I've heard that Dick Rowe for his whole life denied that he said it. So take that what you will, but that's a quote. So
Yeah, and and actually, I mean, the one good thing, yeah, yeah, Paulina, the one good thing that came out of this, though, at least, is that it is kind of amazing that they auditioned, with 15 songs. I mean, that's a lot of songs. I mean, for a group auditioning, and
yes,
they at least had them professionally recorded, so that they at least did have a pretty good sized audition tape that they were able then to take around, and it did
yeah,
get them the audition with
Yeah.
EMI.
Yeah. It was nice that they let him take a copy of the tape because they didn't
Yeah.
have to do that.
and that didn't help matters any. I don't think if we can say this tape is not the best, that I don't think that helped them any.
Yeah.
Lugging this around or
Mhm.
Brian. Okay. So anyway, I'm just reading some of the comments to start us off with. We got a lot of tracks here to go through. So
Yeah.
let's go from 15 to one. What we'll call our least favorites to our most favorites. And I personally found this was like a lot of mediocrity here for me. So I'm like, how in the
Yeah.
world can you tell a number of 14 from a 12 or a 8 from a 5? I mean, but I did
Yeah.
the best I could. I'm sure you two did the same.
I was cursing you last night, Joe.
Why is that? Oh, because I said I had it done.
It was hard. It was
Oh yeah.
really
Oh, I
hard.
see what you're saying. Right. Asking you to
Yeah.
do this. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was tough. It was tough. Well, let's get started, folks. We're going to try this. Well, let's say if we're going to pick a track to bring up the rear, I'm going to start with you, Kit. In this case, what out of all these tracks, what did you find to be the least appealing?
All right. I chose September in the Rain. I just thought it came off like a lounge act from Holiday Inn. Okay.
That's funny.
I just really I thought it was, because it's a great song. I mean, it's a standard, but the arrangement, I just couldn't stand. I mean, it sounded like what they would parody years later, and my name call. I'll look up the number. I mean, Paul's vocal on it was just, hey, I mean, it
One, two,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, cringe. Yeah.
I'm getting into it now.
Yeah, really. Okay, that'll be your next cover, Joe. That'll be your next cover. Yeah, it was just, it made me cringe. I mean, I don't know if I would have cut off the audition right there and said, okay, thank you. I mean, it just, I mean, it's one thing to reimagine and arrange a standard and put your own spin on it. But this, no. I mean, it just really, and they sounded, well, on this song, yeah. It just, they were trying too hard. They were just trying too hard to be different and
Yeah.
maybe ironic, and it just came off cheesy in all the wrong ways. So this was easy for me
No,
to
that
pick.
was
Yeah.
mine's not that far. Well, I won't be probably for a while talking about
Mhm.
that one. But
Oh, okay.
with that, I loved everything you said.
Yeah.
That's so well stated.
Okay.
Uh, all right. So, Tim, what do you have for the bottom of the barrel at number 15?
Well, I have September in the Rain as well.
Oh,
I
wow.
I knew I liked you, Tim.
I
Holy
think
cow.
I think it's possibly Paul McCartney's worst vocal ever.
Oh, my.
Ooh.
it's he's super nervous. You could tell the whole band is super nervous on all these songs, and they sound like a 12-year-old garage band just starting out on this song. And Paul's vocal is just so over the top and so it's not Paul. It's inflected with he's doing somebody. I have no idea
Yes.
who, but it sounds like
Yeah,
an
yeah.
imitation of
And that's
somebody I
part of
never
the
heard of. But
part of the
yeah,
problem.
it was easy for me. 15
I
was the
keep
easiest one.
when I hear
Yes.
this, I keep saying to myself, and the funny thing is, I should mention for some reason when I played them again, I know them, but I played them again, and I enjoyed it this time more than I usually do for some reason.
Mhm.
But what always strikes me is that I say Paul hasn't found himself,
Yeah.
at least in
Well,
his voice or his
no,
sound. He's trying to do
no.
Elvis. He's trying to do a lounge singer, whatever he's doing. It doesn't sound like Paul knows what to sing or how to sing. But wow, I wish I could make it unanimous, but I can't. I I went with the Sheik of Araby. I don't know. Uh, it's a clunky, stupid song and cover, and that thing they say in between, which again, a good point earlier about what might have worked in Hamburg or something. What are they saying? And I tried to look it up when they go. What is that nonsense that they're trying to be funny in the middle of the song? I don't know. George is okay. As I say, I think George sounds pretty good. In fact, dare I say, sometimes better than some of the regular Beatles songs.
Mhm.
In some of these, he sounds pretty good, but it's just a little silly and clunky for me. And that little gag they throw in there.
That's a perfect example of that probably worked better on stage.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
You could just hear when they were doing that,
Yeah.
or whatever the hell that was.
Yeah.
That probably the audience maybe even did it along with them, and but in a studio it just doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, George is also trying at the end. I don't want to. I'm going to be doing a lot of singing. I don't want to do too much. At the end, he's trying with his voice. As well. Maybe that's not so good. Come to think of it, but all
Oh,
right. Let's see where we're going now. I'm going to see what if anybody's offering some choices here. Just bear with me. Okay, we got Sure to Fall. Paul's voice was horrible. Number
well,
15. We have To Know Her Is to Love Her. It's a rather muddy vocal sound, and I've never cared for the song. Okay. That's a good point, Bill. This is ranking what
yeah.
sucks the least.
Yeah.
Wow, a lot of people don't care for that September in the Rain. That's for
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
I knew I liked
Yeah.
you too.
It's
Besame Mucho. Let's see. Number 15, Till There Was You. Let's see. It says Epstein had only been their manager for only a few weeks when these sessions took place. Geez, I should know my dates better than that. So don't. September in the Rain. Paul was bad.
Yes, he was.
yes.
Blasphemy. Sheik of Araby's my number 3. Oh, enjoy it.
Well,
Oh, that's what they're saying that he's saying that John, or they're saying in the Sheik of Araby, not half or not off. Really?
By the way, I just read before we went on, we lost Nichelle Nichols from Star
Oh,
Trek.
Oh no.
I just read that.
oh,
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I happened to see that photo, so
that's
sorry
Oh,
very
about that.
sad.
sorry to hear
Um,
that.
okay, George sounds good and had quite a few lead vocals. Yeah, that's another
Yeah,
thing. He had a good amount of vocals,
yeah.
Yep.
So Chic was always a novelty song.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
The Beatles. I know we have to move on because this is going to take a while, I think. So I remember the first time I heard Chic of Araby and recoiled when the not half was louder than the rest of the song.
It does. It is. Yeah, it really
Yeah,
jumps out
yeah.
at you and I was like, "What?"
Okay. All right. So now we're going to go with Tim and number 14. What do you have next to last?
Okay, well, I want to preface this and the last one and my next three by saying that Paul is my favorite vocal. Paul is my favorite Beatle, but at this point in time, he had not found himself. And
Yeah.
yeah, Searching is my number 14. I know it's kind of a dual vocal, but I don't like the song. It's an okay song, but it's not a song for them. And
I like
it's
it by the Coasters.
Yeah.
yeah, it's almost
Great
a
song.
novelty song. And if you count Searching as a novelty song, 5 of the 15 songs they do are novelty songs. And the Beatles were not they weren't a novelty act. That's part of the problem with this whole thing is
Mm.
they're doing novelty songs. And why are they doing novelty songs? They're a rock and roll band. Anyway, Searching. I don't have much to say about it. I don't think it's a great
All
song.
right. There's
Not
not much
sung
to
well.
say.
It's not performed well.
All right.
It's goofy.
All right, Kit, what do you have for next to last 14?
Okay, now somebody else has mentioned this in the comments. Now, let me preface this by saying I like the song, I just don't like this version that they did of it, which is Till There Was You.
Ah,
Yeah, now I like it's not my all-time, favorite Beatles song, but I like the version they would do later,
mm,
and then and that they did subsequent live versions. But Paul's vocal on this, wow, you could tell how nervous he was.
mm.
And there was music. Wow.
This
I
is going to be
mean,
fun. This is going to be fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm having fun with
We're
this.
kind of bashing the Beatles, which doesn't happen that often, right?
I mean, really, it just, I mean, his vocals just another kind of cringe-worthy moment, and the vibrato and everything is just, so he's like having trouble controlling it. I mean, you could just tell how nervous he was, and I'm not trying to dump on them here. I mean, it was a big
Dump.
moment for them. It was a big moment for them. They obviously were like, they thought this is do or die, and but it just, and George's guitar solo in it was a bit clunky. Well, actually, had 2 guitar solos in it. And it just was not what it would be later on. This was not a good version at all.
Kit, you know what you're talking about. I must say, you're right on the money. And you're right on the money. Okay, I almost went. Go ahead, Tim. You go. You did go.
But he
And
did
you
I
go.
know
did
what? I'm
go.
sorry. I'm looking at the
You.
next one. I'm gonna stop alternating them. Kit, Tim, Tim, Kit. I got them all written down here. I'm looking at the next one. So I will go right into it. This is live, folks. You're right on the money, and you know what you're talking about, Kit, because I picked Till There Was You as number 14.
That's why we get
And
along so well.
Wow.
although it's not so much, though for me, Paul's voice. I mean, obviously, I like the one much better that they did with the Beatles. Um, what got me is Pete Best changing tempo.
Oh,
I
Hmm.
seem to detect, and let me know when anybody hears it. Like it speeds up a little bit later in the song it slows down again. It seems to me like he takes it a little too fast and then slows down again.
Hmm.
I don't like that, and it's a poor lead guitar.
Yes.
I think in it, it's great on the officially released version, but I mean, how many takes did it take? I wonder, you know. So,
Mhm.
to get it perfected, but no, no, they did that much better.
Yep.
Till there was you. So there you go.
You
All right.
guys won't be surprised where that is on my list.
Oh,
Oh,
geez, he's got
uh-oh.
it number one.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I ain't say nothing because I'll tell you somebody who put a choice down there is going to be surprised where it is on my list.
Mhm.
Let's see. Okay. Mark, Till There Was You, far
Yep.
inferior to the version on With the Beatles, despite a
Yes.
similar arrangement. Guitar solo doesn't work well on electric guitar. See, I don't even notice that. You know, and Paul's vocal is clumsy. You know, but yeah.
Yes. You got it, Mark. You got it.
Um, their version of Searching is better than the original.
Mm.
Yeah.
Searching,
Agree to
I
disagree.
barely know what he's saying. Three Cool Cats.
Oh
Oh, that's Kit's
Yeah.
number one.
no. No, it's not my number one. It's not my number one. But it's up.
No.
No.
It's up, 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 up.
Let's see. Trying to look for see if we got Beatles. Just to, okay, Sure to Fall. Don't hate it, but not as good as a lot of the others. Oh, look at that lovely garden.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Oh
Okay.
no.
Yeah, I don't know whether the tempo changes weren't intentional. Probably
Yeah.
not, right? Good point, Beans.
Ouch.
All
Yeah.
right, now maybe not, right? That's the idea. You can't. Ugh. Anyway, all right, we're up to 13. So, Kit, we'll start off with you.
Okay, I think Farrell just mentioned this song, so "Sure to Fall in Love with You." Well, exactly what he said. I don't hate it. It's just not one of my favorites of theirs, and I know they would go on to cover this later. I believe in the BBC sessions. Just not, one of my favorites. It's just I hate to say it, a little dull for me. And it's this version. I like the version they did on the BBC better. Here, it just sounds a little messy. I guess I would say it's just a little disorganized, and the country accents that they try later on. I mean, they try to sound a little nasal, and I just
Mm-hmm.
like, don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
It really doesn't work. And it's just I don't know. It just doesn't work for me here. I think they, as I said, they just don't sound as tight as a unit here as they would later on. So it just here it just sounds like they're not quite in sync. Um, so yep, that's my number 13.
Okay, Tim, what do you have for 13?
I have Besame Mucho,
Mm.
which is not a great song. Why did they do it? But the version that they record like a year later is so much better. It shows what influence George Martin had, that they could make it that much better in that short of a period of time. And it's and I prefer the version on Let It Be to this one. I mean,
I
this
was going to
is
say they were
Yeah.
messing around with that too.
this
Then
is it's just not good. It's what do you say about mediocre songs? Again, Paul's vocals are not good. It's just it's
It hurts.
yeah, it's not good.
all right, I have for number 13, Searching. That's where I put Searching. Paul, I don't know what he's doing. Elvis kind of voice. I don't know.
Yeah.
Here ought to be. So I don't know. Oh my goodness, searching. I don't get it. And then there's that Tiny Tim falsetto thing that they do. I can't do it. Here goes
Well,
Audition.
the Coasters
Catch it.
did that, so that's why they did it.
That's where
But
they
Yeah.
got it from. Okay, I said I
yeah,
like
the
the Coasters
Coasters do
version.
that.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
The
Because I like
Coasters
the
do it
Coasters version.
too.
I remember hearing that on one of
Yeah,
their
no, it's in
albums.
the Coasters.
I don't remember that, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, number 13. I mean, it's funny because I had fun with these. I still have fun listening to it for a gag, but if I'm putting these in order, it's low.
Mhm.
All right. So let me back up here a little bit. So we got a September in the Rain here.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Well, yes, totally correct in rejecting the group on the basis of this audition. It sounded labored, a bizarre choice of repertoire. Yeah,
And right.
Yeah.
take good care. Take good care of my baby at number 13. Let's see. You got to remember how these were recorded as well.
Yeah.
Okay, there's not many picks. That's fine if there's not many picks. It helps me actually.
Ha!
So, okay. So we could move along then to number 12. And Tim, start with you for number 12.
Well, some people might hate me for this, but it's
Oh, it's a,
My first Lennon McCartney track. It's
okay.
like Dreamers do, and it's not so
Ooh.
much that I don't like the song, but Paul just his vocal is just horrible. I can't even explain how much I detest the way he's singing this. His oh, it's just
Yeah.
Are
it's
you
just
sure
it,
that what's his name wanted to get this song? Forget his name. Kim Bennett. Are you sure? Anybody?
well, anyway, the
I
song
don't
is
know.
fine. It's more Paul's vocal than anything else that I just don't like about it. So yeah, it's my first Lennon McCartney at 12 already
Well,
because
supposedly Mark Lewis says that's what they actually got signed on the basis of that song, which
well
is hard
maybe they did as
for me
songwriters
to
for the
believe
second
that,
that song.
but supposedly that's the case. I don't know. You mean you
Well,
don't like that waiting for who you don't
no, it's just so, who was the guy? Was it Matthews? Which one of the BBC guys auditioned them first? And vocally said John yes and Paul no. And on the
right,
basis of this, I
yes.
completely get that.
In this particular session, yeah, oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. Surprised I didn't say George, yes, Lennon McCartney, no.
yeah.
Well, all right. So that brings us to Kit for number 12.
All right. Before I get to that, Mark Zeckoff mentioned, I think he missed, he said for his number 13, it was sure to fall. It's the same as mine. So I just wanted to mention
Oh,
that. So yeah,
sorry.
Mark. Oh, no, that's all right. So yeah, Mark and I, we're totally in sync. Anyway, so number 12, well, this is hilarious. I picked my first Lennon McCartney original, but it's a different one.
All right.
I've never liked this song. I'm sorry, folks. Love of the Loved. I've never
Oh,
liked it. But it's kind of for the same reason though that you picked it, Tim. Is this Paul's vocals? So, poor Paul. We're really picking on him on this,
yeah.
but
Well,
he just did not sound great.
Were
You
these
know?
really the same guys in a relatively? I never understand how in a relatively short amount of time they wrote brilliant songs and every one
well,
was a good song
Yep.
and they were singing so well. I really wonder about that sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, but I guess I just never, you know, like this song in particular. I just thought I don't know. It just you just think, wow, what a change! Like a year later, the songs they would write, my God,
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was the same thing. I mean, again, that out of control vibrato, and he was nervous. I mean, I'm cutting him some slack here, but it's just another case. He's just trying too hard. I mean, as you said, he's like is he trying to be Elvis? Is he trying to, I don't know, but
yeah,
it's just yeah, I know. Yeah, a couple of people are pointing out, Beans and Clear Coat 2000, he was 19. Yes, I know. I
It's
know,
always these people. It's always he was
Yeah,
19. No, he
and
was this. I don't know
I
if that's a
know,
defense, but come
but
on,
kids
we
are
but
gotta call it
kids are
like it
showy
is.
offy. So I mean, I think that's got a lot to do with it. They're all just trying to show off how talented they are, and it
I
just
mean,
makes them
I've
look
heard. I'm used to hearing he's 80. Come
amateur.
on, now I hear he's
yep.
19. Come on.
Oh man, I'm disappointing Farrell. He said that's his number one. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry. I hope you don't hate me now, but I
Oh,
just, yeah, I've just never particularly liked it, just generally as a song. But yeah, that version, ugh, I just,
Yeah.
it's just Paul's vocal that I just can't stand. I'm
gotcha,
sorry.
gotcha. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you made it clear. That's for sure. Number 12, I have Sure to Fall. I don't know. Paul's voice is all over the place. And
Yeah.
again, I'm not a technical guy. Pete's drum rolls are all over the place.
Oh,
I call them drum rolls. I,
yeah.
I don't understand that. If it's necessary to go in the middle of the song while you're singing a lot, I don't know. I like it much better other versions they've done on of that BBC. So let's see if I could bring up any more comments. Um, I love, yeah, 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 boy, Ricky Ricardo will have something to say about that. Yeah, yeah. My 12th is Money, another inferior version to what they did on with the Beatles. John's voice cracks, and Pete Best does the song no
I'll
favors.
be getting to that soon.
This is
Yeah,
actually a lot of fun.
it is.
Because I say honestly, I mean, it's so rare to,
Well,
blast the Beatles. I've never considered it was going to be that.
yeah.
But yeah, if you're not good,
Um,
you're not good. What do Uh, you missed this before. Like dreamers do, go to bed, Tim. Billy Spleen said. That's a private joke. A lot of times when we do, we do chats. Because Billy Spleen had said that he was a kid. I met
yeah.
him in person at the Paul show. He's not a kid.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
he was teasing us. But so during the live chats, after a while, Tim would say, "Go to bed, Billy." So all right. Anyway, I don't know. Cry for a Shadow is better than anything on here, in my
Oh,
estimation. Anyway, I'd love that,
yeah.
but maybe we
Those
should have
ain't
threw
she
them on here
sweet?
too. Ain't she sweet? Also, let's see. Oh, I see. I'm sorry. Geez, you see what I mean? I made a mistake and I apologize. How
I know.
old was
I
Paul
did
back
too.
then?
I didn't see that
Yeah, Paul
either.
was 19. It wasn't
My
like they were
bad.
critics. I'll give him a break. He's 19. I didn't mean. I'm
Mhm.
sorry about that. Um, yeah, not every Lennon McCartney song was brilliant. Tip of my tongue. Yeah, I don't like that either. A one and one is two.
Oh,
Yeah, but
that
I'll tell you
means a
what was.
lot.
I love World Without Love. I do. I love that song.
Yes,
And
I do too.
Bad to Me. I like. There's other ones they gave away that I did like. What's the? Oh yeah, he was saying about this. That was Farrell's number one, right?
But he later said we're still cool. So
Oh, all
good,
right.
Farrell.
We're three cool cats, or whatnot.
That's right.
Yeah.
Number 12, to know her is to love her, and I kind of do. Okay.
Oh,
Pete called them little stumbles. All this
It's,
was to show they needed Ringo. That is true, really.
that's
All
the thing.
right.
You really miss Ringo here. You really sense that. I mean, Ringo had
yeah.
such power.
Yeah.
In his drumming.
Yeah.
I mean, and yeah, you don't. I mean, Pete's a
Yeah.
nice guy. I've met him. He's a nice guy, but and he got the job done. He did, but it's
Yeah,
just not
Pete,
Ringo.
you seem like a great guy. Hope to meet you in late September, early October.
Yeah, he is. He's a great guy. He really
Looking
is. He's a
forward to
nice,
meeting you.
nice guy. You know.
All
I'm going to
right.
talk about his drumming later. So
Well, you know what they say about nice guys. That's why he finished last,
Yeah, yeah.
unfortunately.
yeah.
Mhm.
But let's go to Kit for number 11.
Okay, number 11. I think Mark already mentioned this money. Now, this is another one that, of course, we all love money, right? I mean, well,
Oh, I
generally, but
love it.
this song, but this song I'm talking about,
No,
great,
but
great song.
the song money too.
The
Yeah, I
song
love it.
money we're
Yeah.
talking about here.
Yeah.
Love I mean, come on, the version they later record, the live version on BBC, great, one of John's best vocals, but not here. It just as I think Mark mentioned, yeah, John's voice cracks at one point. It just he just sounds nervous. I do like the what I call the Peter Gunn guitar on that at the beginning. That's great. I
Mhm.
like that, but it just does not compare to the versions that they would record later.
I mean, the version they recorded of Money, one of my all-time favorite John performances.
Yeah, exactly. So that's one of the times where I'm saying I love the song, I love the version they would later do, but the version here, no. It just doesn't compare
So
to
that's
the
not what
version
you
later.
want.
No, no, this is not what I want.
All
Very
right,
good, very good.
exactly. All right, Tim, you're up. Number 11.
My number 11 was Joe's number 12, Sure to Fall. Paul just again doesn't singing. He's everything. All my songs have been Paul so far. This is terrible.
I know.
He sings it terribly, and I mean I gotta hate to say this, but when Ringo covered it in 1981, it's so much better than Paul doing it.
Yeah, yeah, I
Ringo
forgot
doing it
about
is
that.
better than Paul. It's like, oh my god,
Well, that
but it
suits
is.
Ringo too. It has a country feeling to it.
Yeah,
It's just, yeah, again, it's vocally. It's not really anything else. It's Paul's vocal that
Would you ever think? I mean, this Paul McCartney. Would you ever think
yeah.
nobody could have told what a genius, s- fantastic singer and songwriter you would become to this day?
amazing.
I mean, oh, it's amazing. Well, let me just wrap this up real quick. Number 11, I put Besame Mucho there. I just prefer the June 6th version at Abbey Road better.
Yeah, it's
And
way
that's
better.
it. So I don't have much to say. Um, let's see. Yes, indeed.
Yep.
Uh, do 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 do. Yeah, we put this up before. I'm sorry. Nice guy gets kicked out of the Beatles. Uh, that means a lot by PJ Proby version. What number are we on? We just finished 11. We're about to get into the top 10.
It's getting serious now.
Yeah,
Yeah, harmony
sure.
vocals. In its favor, are the harmony vocals, which are missing from the June
Hmm.
Parlophone session.
Hmm.
Pete lets us down. Let's see. I'm just looking for comments here. Okay, we got "Take Good Care of My Baby" at number 11. From here, it's easier to be nice. All right, we'll find out
Well,
as we do our top 10. Does such a thing apply?
Yeah,
Is this our
yeah,
top 10 or our not as bad 10?
not
yeah.
as bad.
All right. Okay, Timothy Allen. I'll start off with you.
Well, it's not a Paul vocal.
Oh, wow.
It's my number 10 is "To Know Her Is to Love Her." It's just it's it, it's almost doo-wop. The Beatles don't do doo-wop. It's their most 50s song. They were a forward-looking band. This had to be an Epstein pick because I can't.
Sure,
It
they
just
do
doesn't
doo-wop.
suit them. It sounds like it was recorded in 1956. It's just not, and
Oh,
it's
darling. Oh,
boring.
darling was doo-woppy.
It's
You people are going to be
boring.
in for quite a surprise.
I
I don't have
know.
much to
Me
say
too.
about it. It's just eh. There's nothing bad about it, but there's nothing good about it either. It's white bread.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, Kit. What do you have to start the top 10?
Okay, this is my second Lennon McCartney original here, which is "Hello, Little Girl." Now, I'm not crazy about the song. This is another, that just shows you how far they came, in just a short time. I mean, it's another one where you're just like, wow, this is the same, you know, two that would later write, "Please Please Me" and so many others. But at least here they sound like they have it a bit more together. I mean, they sound a bit tighter. Sound a bit more polished. When you compare that to Some of the others where they sound a little more scattered and like with Sure to Fall or something. This is the one where if I were listening to them as if I were Dick Rowe or whatever, I would say, okay, there might be some potential here. This is somewhat catchy. They have some harmonies here. They just they have some potential as a pop group. So this is, while it's not a great song, at least they sound a bit more polished here.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'll buy that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For me, for number 10, that's where I put September in the Rain, which is a lot higher than you folks did.
Wow.
But you made me really think about it though as a lounge act. I guess I have a lot of fun with it. I remember when I first heard these, I heard them, the Decagon singles, colored wax singles that came out, and that was around 1977. They're one of the first rare Beatles collectibles that I got. I remember a friend of mine used to get it. He used to love Paul, and he'd put this on and start mimicking Paul playing and exaggerate. And I used to get a kick. Maybe I'm fond of it because I used to get a kick out of it, and I remember that. I have fun with the track. It's pretty poor, but I have enough fun that it made. I didn't put it in the bottom five. All right. So September in the Rain for me at number 10. And what was this? Okay. The producer had a hangover after a party and had a car crash just before. If they ended up as Decca artists, they wouldn't have had the free reign that George Martin allowed them. Look, thank God they got with George Martin. Not for nothing.
Yeah.
I really think George Martin is missed here, missed too. In addition
Darn right.
to Ringo.
Oh, absolutely.
Mhm.
I put this up before. Tim Allen. This boy was so doo-woppy.
Yeah.
I never thought of that.
But
Yeah.
it's not that it's not. But they're doing background vocals, but here they're actually doing doo-wop vocals, like
Mhm.
doo 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 and wow wow.
Yeah.
That's why I said that.
My 10th is Taking Care of My Baby, a very nice rendition. It's the cleanest track of all 15, but it just doesn't fit the group.
Well,
It's also the last Decca track I ever heard.
a lot of these don't fit the group.
Yeah.
Memphis, Tennessee, number 10. To Know Her is to Love Her has a great bridge section.
Mhm.
Very good, I agree. Crying, Waiting, Hoping, do do do.
Do.
I was exposed to the Decca recordings in the late 70s when a friend played me the Decagon singles. Yes,
Sure.
that's what I first heard. I didn't hear Take Good Care until the Decca tapes bootleg. Same here. Yeah. I didn't hear that until late.
Yeah.
Good point there.
I think I heard him. It was like a silver. I think it was like the best of the Silver Beatles or something. I
Tim
forget
has
the
some.
name.
Don't you have?
Yeah,
a
I
few
was
things?
gonna when it got to my turn, but we could.
Mhm.
I was just gonna, in case people don't know, what we're talking about, because they're not that common. Here's a copy of this. Is like the easiest one to get, probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna highlight that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
the most known. That's the most well
Yeah.
known.
That's the most known one, and if you're looking for it on CD, this is a nice Japanese CD version that's not too expensive.
Hmm.
It's even on a Decca label, and I just wanted to, for kicks, show the first place I ever heard them because it's a cool item. It's on this picture disc.
Oh,
That's cool. Let me
nice.
blow
And
that
it's
up.
all 15 tracks. It doesn't sound as good as the other one, but it sounds pretty good.
Mhm.
And yeah, this is where I first heard the Decca tapes on this thing.
I was starting to wonder too. A lot of times they show you the pictures of the Beatles in their leather jackets.
Mhm.
By that time, they probably weren't dressing like that. Would you say? Or when did they put the suits on? Because O'Brien wanted them to get in suits.
Yeah.
I don't know if he changed them by that time. I wonder how they. Well, you don't have to put your suits on, right, in order to go and audition for Decca. Or was that maybe part of the overall appeal they were trying to go for him, clean him up a bit?
No, I think they were probably wearing suits when they walked into Decca.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure if Brian was running
Yeah.
this show. Yeah.
All right. So now we're up to number nine. Number nine.
Number 9.
And Kit, I'm going to start with you for number 9.
Okay, well, somebody else mentioned this already, so it's Memphis, Tennessee. Tucker, yeah, Tucker mentioned it. Yeah, Memphis, Tennessee. I like I like the guitars, and I actually do like Pete Best's drums on this. He was okay on this track. And George did a pretty decent solo on this. But John's, and I hate to say this, John's vocals are a little bland here. I think he could have approached this differently. I guess it's just Johnny Rivers' version is so planted in my brain, because like that line, that I forget the name of the girl that Sozo's just 6 years old, and when Johnny
Marie.
Marie, thank you, Marie's just 6 years old, information please, and he says that, and John just says information please, I mean, it just, he doesn't put any, character into it. He doesn't put any style into it. He kind of feels like he's trying to rush through it a little bit. So I wish John had put a little more personality into the lyrics, and I think that's kind of a whole problem, I think, with a lot of this, and we kind of touched on this earlier, that a lot of these songs don't fully showcase the Beatles' distinctiveness and personality. So I like the background. I mean, I like the instrumentation here, but it's not John's best vocal, that's for sure. So it's kind of a qualified number 9.
I will say one thing about in the vocal. I used to have a joke with my friend Mike, dear departed friend Mike. He used to say, "Who the heck is Smallcoat?" And I used to say, "What are you talking about?" He used to go, "Smallcoat took the message." I said, "He's saying real fast. I think my uncle, or cause my uncle." He's going like, "Small
Yeah.
uncle took the message." He's saying "small uncle" or something like that. And we used to
Yeah.
think it was like "small coat." Small coat took the message or something, some nickname or something.
No.
I'm saying no. Later on, because we didn't know this song, it's Chuck Berry, wrote it, and
Right.
Chuck Berry, the great Chuck
Yeah.
Berry, I should say,
Oh, yes.
big hero of John's, and then I was younger. We were probably only 15, my friend and I, 14, 15. So we didn't know any other versions, and we're like, I just thought Small Coat took the message.
Small coats.
So I don't know what that was all about. So
Yeah, and this definitely does not match Chuck Berry's either. Yes, I should mention that
uh,
too. Yeah, for sure.
right, all right, Tim, number 9 for you.
My number 9 is the first of the novelty songs that I actually like, and it's the Chic of Araby.
Wow,
I don't
but
have
well,
a
you didn't
lot to
put Chic
say
of
about it,
Araby
but I
there
like
either,
it.
did you? Wow.
I like them being goofy. I like it as well as the original, if not better. I think they did a good job on it. I like that they trade off vocals. I like it. It feels like they put some work into it, where a lot of these they don't. That's about all I
All
have to say
right.
about it, I guess.
So okay, I got that. All right, so I'm up for number 9. That's where I place. I'm the first one to mention this, and I can't believe it. This is probably one of the most popular of all the Decca auditions, and I put it at number 9. I think I'm the first one to mention it. Three Cool Cats. Three Cool Cats. I think it's fun and crazy. Good time. I think you got Confident George here again. He sounds pretty confident. He's having a good time. He sounds the most relaxed to me out of all of them, George. And I really like. It's a fun thing. I love the Beatles ad libs in this one. I was criticizing some of the things they were doing in like Chic of Araby or something, but I like the ad libs here. Hey man, save one chick for me, and all this kind of stuff. And maybe that's how they really go. This song really goes because I think I also heard a
Yeah,
version. I think also the Coasters did that too,
yeah.
or
The
somebody
Coasters
did.
did Three Cool Cats.
Right? I
Yeah.
heard their version, and I don't remember it right now, but I love it on the Decca auditions when the Beatles do that. So Three Cool Cats is number 9 for me. All right. Let's see if I can go back. Okay, like Dreamers Do, number 9, the weakest of the 3 originals, and the I is rough to hear. The Applejacks, who did it version, did not improve on it, but it's an original, which places it here. And John just needed Yoko to scream in the background, like on Mike Douglas.
I think that's referring
Okay.
to Memphis, Tennessee. Yeah.
John is singing Small Coat, following the British band traditions of getting the lyrics of classic American pop songs wrong. It's caused my uncle in Beverly. I think that's what he's saying. It's my uncle. That's what I think he's saying. Very
Hmm.
fast.
Okay.
Personally, I don't think he's singing Small Coat. But
Learn something new every day, folks.
you know, I'm back from before. I'm glad that Robert S. Was heard everyone.
Hmm.
Oh,
Chic
that's
of
good.
Araby is
Oh,
my number
Shriek of
9.
Araby.
Shriek.
I like
Money,
that.
money. True, it's not as good as on With the Beatles, but it's still okay.
Hmm.
Alrighty. Let's see. Oh. Okay. All these songs are typical BBC Saturday Club radio tunes back in the day. Uh, Not into novelty songs, but I like Chic of Araby.
I do too.
Chic of Araby. Dun, dun.
Yeah, George is giving it 100%.
Yeah, he's pretty
Yep.
good. He really sounds confident in this, George. I think.
I think he's the
Yeah.
MVP of this. I
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah.
I also think he was doing the correct line. It just sounded like he was saying it. He said it too
Mm,
fast.
yeah.
So that's just. But then again, I could be wrong. What do you think? That doesn't happen. That I'm wrong once in a while. It's
Mhm.
known to happen. Believe it or not. All right, let's go to number 8 and start with Tim Allen for the lead.
Well, for number 8, I've got my second Lennon McCartney song, and it's Love of the Loved. And it's not a song that I've ever cared for specifically, but it's not a bad song. Cilla Black's version is fine. Um, and I think Paul sings it better than he sang like Dreamers do. Um, so
Mhm.
it's decent. It's okay. I see why it got covered later, and it's
Hmm.
good. It's a good track. It's good
By
enough.
Cilla Black
Mhm. Yep.
covered it. All right.
Yep.
I agree with you too. I think that's a better Paul vocal than
Mhm.
like Dreamers do. Kit, what do you have for number 8?
Okay, well, this song's been bashed a little bit already, but I liked it a little better. Searching. I liked it. I thought it was just. I think at least it sounds like John and Paul are having a little fun here. In the previous songs they sound so nervous, and here at least they sound a little more relaxed, a little bit more like particularly Paul, getting a little grit in his voice here. Not a great George guitar solo, but still, at least they just sound like they're having a little fun. And not as good as the Coasters version. I think we've all discuss that here. But still, it's fun. It's just kind of a fun. I mean, I wouldn't have signed them based on this
Yeah.
version. I
Yeah.
will make that clear. But I just think it's harmless fun.
All right. Number 8 for me. A save one for me. Number 8. My first Beatles original in the batch. Made it all the way to number 8.
Wow.
And it's John's song. I put Hello Little Girl at number 8. And it's a very minor song, very pedestrian kind of early John. It was covered by Jerry and the Pacemakers and the Foremost, I think. Um, the part that I like about it is I like the part that goes, I hope it's me, I love, 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 and love, love, love. I wonder what you're thinking of. I hope it's me and love, love, love. And I like the part I'm about to lose my mind. I like that bit. That's my favorite bit of the whole song. I like I don't know, as as complex as it gets. I guess it stops a little bit, takes a little detour sound.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hello, little girl, minor, John, early track. Okay, let's go now. Three Cool Cats is my number 8, and Mark agrees with you about George
Mhm.
and the MVP.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's see. I take it Pete's drumming is all okay in these. No, I mentioned it. I was mentioning
Yeah.
him a few times. He
No,
does
I'll get to it.
his drum. Yeah, his drumming. I'll get to it later too. I have it down here.
But
Uh,
you kind of said it right there. It's okay.
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of overdone in places. And,
Mm.
uh,
Yeah.
I thought there was something. Okay.
It is. It is off the wall.
Memphis, Tennessee, number 8.
Mhm. Yeah, we were pretty close there.
The Cilla Black tidbit. Tidbit. You wouldn't get away with "Hello, Little Girl." You know what's funny too? I didn't even think of it until you
That's
said it.
true, though.
It's
That's
like
kind
it's
of true.
Don't get me started, folks. I mean, really, I don't even think about it.
But
Oh man.
That's
things
Okay.
were
funny.
different then. You can't. I mean, I mean, don't. You
Different
can't
time.
think she's just 17, and you know what I mean anymore
Yeah, that's
either.
another
You know,
line.
it's
Yeah.
just it's
It's just a
things
term
have
of affection.
changed,
Mhm.
but it doesn't
Uh,
mean that everybody
how'd we
was
get to
just
7?
creepy back then. It's not what it
Somebody's.
means.
All right, Farrell's beating us down to number 7
Okay.
already
Oh,
with
we were pretty
searching.
close.
All right, let's start with Kit for number 7.
Okay. Number 7. Uh, the last of the Lennon McCartney originals. Like Dreamers do. Now, I don't like, again, we've kind of talked about this already, the waiting for you,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's annoying. I completely agree. But I've always kind of liked the song, obviously not on the level of later, Lennon McCartney originals, but um, I guess I've just always thought this was the catchiest, in a way, of the three originals for me. And and some fairly good drumming here for from Pete Best. Again, not Paul's best vocals, but and he's still trying to find his way here, as we've talked about, still trying to sound like Elvis a bit, but overall, I mean, I think, again, if I were trying to decide whether to sign this group, if I heard the song, I would kind of think, okay, they're capable of writing some catchy stuff here. I might think about signing this group. Based on hearing, this song, like, okay, they're capable of writing some decent pop hits. So I don't know. I've just always kind of liked this song. I just think it's one of their better originals from this period.
Hmm. All right, that's nice.
Mhm.
Okay, Tim, you're up for number 7.
My number 7 is "Till There Was You." I actually think
Wow.
I actually think it's Paul's best vocal he did in these whole sessions.
Which isn't saying much.
Um, no, it's not. It's not saying much, but that's why it's that high. I mean, I've never been a fan of the song. It's probably my least favorite song on their second album, and yet here
Me too.
it's number 7. I mean, which tells you a lot about these sessions. And I don't think it's different than the one that they would do 2 years later, but to me it's not that much worse. It's similar. I almost like this one better because it's not as smalty to me as the one that they would redo later. I don't know, but
Well, the
that's just
guitar work
me.
don't bother you on it?
No, I'm used to George's clunky guitar work.
Yeah,
I've heard enough outtakes and things, that doesn't
yeah.
really
Let me tell
bother
you.
me.
Yeah,
It's just George.
All
It's funny,
right.
everybody's saying George is the MVP, but
Vocally.
they're saying it vocally. Nobody's really going, oh, George's guitar work is really good
No,
on this.
no,
Nobody's
no,
saying that.
no. Not me. Nope. But since we're talking about George and the MVP, I'm going to put my number 7, "Take Good Care of My Baby," which probably I'm thinking maybe deserves top 5 status. The more I'm thinking of it, but when I prepared the list, I put number 7, "Coffin and King"
Mhm.
song, cover done by Bobby V. As he's famous for it, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Um, I just think George is really good on it.
Mhm.
Considering, that's all I could say. I don't have much else to
yeah,
say. It's pretty good. It's one
yeah,
of the stronger tracks here. I think
yeah,
more impressive, and
yeah.
I like George on it. Maybe I should have placed it a little higher as I'm looking at my list, but it's happened sometimes, right? When we do these things, like, well, somebody else
Yeah,
Yep.
convinces you of a
Yeah.
different way of
this was
looking at it, too.
this was hard.
Uh,
Mhm.
Number 7, "Searching." More stretching syllables at the end, but what the hell is Paul singing when he goes falsetto? Is whoever that is? Is that John or Paul? I don't know. Whoever it is,
It's
Yeah.
Paul.
like, I walked that down that street, like,
Yeah.
I
I have to
think it's
look it up.
auto drum. I think it's like one of these places where you go like buy sandwiches out of a machine. I might
Hmm.
be wrong, but I think that's what it is.
I used to think
Um,
he was singing about dark rum.
No, I think it's auto.
something drum, a tall, dark drum. I don't know. Now, the thing about this song, "Good Morning Little Schoolgirl," I'm thinking of a song called "Hey Little Schoolgirl," but I think it's called by Tom and Jerry.
Yeah,
I
Mhm.
think, which are really Simon and
Oh,
Garfunkel.
sure.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
right.
You know,
Yeah. I love that
um,
song.
then
Who
again, I
who
mean, again,
who were way worse than the Beatles were at that point in time, by
Yeah.
the
yeah.
Yeah.
way.
Cringe.
Uh, there's "Money" in number 7 for Tucker.
Mhm.
My 7 is "September in the Rain." Yes, it's overdone, but I'm a sucker for this song, and I like the bridge and the modulation to a higher key at the end of the song.
Oh, okay.
That modulation was more effective in the BBC version of "I Got to Find My Baby."
Hmm.
We're gonna have to do some BBC stuff one of these
Yeah, I
days.
think that might be a future show.
Let's see. Okay, I bet their instruments were pretty beat up too.
Yeah, that's
Well,
certainly
yeah, they weren't
possible.
using their amps, so they weren't getting a rough
Yeah.
sound at all, which doesn't help.
I
Oh,
think that's
okay.
just Bulldog
Oh, it is
drumming.
Bulldog Drummond. I think he's
Oh,
right. Now that I think about it, I'm positive he's right. I think I used to think
okay.
it was auto drum, but it's Bulldog Drummond.
That's very good.
Okay.
Very good. Very good.
Yes, he's absolutely correct.
Searching reels
Oh.
off a list of pulp detectives trying to find her. Oh, I see. Yeah,
Yeah,
right, right.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
thank you,
okay.
Mark. Oh,
Thank you,
yeah, very
Mark.
good. Very good.
He's one of my star students in my classes too, so you can trust him.
Yes, Bulldog Drummond.
I like this. I
Yeah.
like the song better now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it makes more
it
sense
does
now.
make sense.
Mhm.
All right, I see what you're saying. Carter's remasters. All right, so now we're up to number 6. We're getting higher and higher to the top. Woohoo!
Mhm.
And Tim, we're going to start with you for number 6.
Okay, number 6 for me is the last of what I call their novelty songs. Three Cool Cats. I think it's the best of the novelty songs that they sang. They actually put some time and some thought into it. As Kit said, live it was probably really, really good.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's the coolest. It's the coolest of the Cat songs. It's just a cool song. And I like it. It's one of the ones that I actually really like. They did a
All right,
really good job.
and Kit, what do you have for number 6?
All right, probably some people are gonna think I'm insane, but Besame Mucho. I just think it's
Ooh,
funny. I think it's funny, and it's just so cheesy, but in a good way. I just love Cha Cha Boom. I love Cha Cha Boom. And yes, Paul is really cheesing it up here, but it's in this case it doesn't really bother me, and And I like the little raspy gets in his voice here. Farrell McNulty agrees here. Yeah, he said fell in love with the song and let it be. Yeah, it's just I don't know what it is. And I like the instrumentation in it. It's not really meant to be taken that seriously. But it just I don't know. There's just something about it that's very uh, appealing. This is one of those songs I think probably went over live, well, and I think it's one of those that the Beatles just took this unlikely song for them to do and kind of made it their own. And so I'm not saying you know, I don't think they should have kept it in their stage shows, once they, really became popular. Don't get me wrong. But I think for what the venues they were playing at the time, I think it was a lot of fun. So I don't know, just always had a soft spot for this one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, well done. Okay, number 6 for me. That's where I placed this particular version of Money. Um, I've always felt it was too fast, but maybe that's because I'm so used to the classic one on, with the Beatles. I mean, look, a lot of times when we're talking about favorite Beatles cover songs, Money I often pick as my favorite, number one. I know I probably should be Twist and Shout. I'm always like torn by those two, but I love that song Money, and the way they do it, with the Beatles. But anyway, here it seems a little too fast, but
Yeah.
I think John's vocal not nearly as good on this, but it's still a stinging kind of sound to it. It does crack. His voice cracks at times. The guitar is pretty good and intense in there. But yeah, it's like one of my favorite, I guess, of the tracks. It's number 6.
And before we go on, I just thought that's a good point about don't a lot of these songs, I mean the tempo seems
Yeah,
way too fast.
and it's not for nothing, but somebody I couldn't find it. I know I have it here. There are discs that exist where they say corrected speed. Now, whether
Mhm.
that's that these are actually too fast to begin with, that they're supposed to be a little slower.
Mhm.
So,
And I also wondered, could it be from, the mock show Hamburg days where they, partially to put on a show and partially because of certain substances, that they, really jacked up the tempos. I don't know.
well, I mean, definitely money. Even if you had a so-called corrected pitch or something like that,
Yeah.
Hmm.
it's still faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Anyway,
it's faster no matter what. Yeah.
you know,
Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
more, it's intense, but I like it okay, but it's not my top.
Hmm.
Let's see. Ooh, up, 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 up. Number 6, like dreamers do. Number 6, my 6th is Love of the Loved, more effective than Cilla Black's overly brassy version. Some great chord changes and a decent vocal for Paul that doesn't overdo things. Okay, Besame Mucho. I'm serious. I fell in love with this song and Let It Be. It was one of the funniest scenes.
For sure.
Now, this is absolutely Kit, but I'm not sure I'm referring to.
About Besame Mucho. Yeah,
Oh,
he was
okay.
agreeing with
Oh.
me. Yeah, that was fun.
Those are golden trio of Lennon covers. Money, Twist and Shout, rock and roll music. I'll go also with Bad Boy, Lizzie Miss
Yes.
Lizzie, all that stuff.
Yes.
Slow down.
Roll over Beethoven. Roll over
Hmm.
Beethoven is fantastic.
Uh, no, I got to tell you, Mark. Well, I respect your opinion. I never really liked the way he does Money on Plastic Ono Band Live Piece in Toronto. I don't like most of those performances at all. John was nervous. It was kind of slow and
Hmm.
uncomfortable and awkward. I really didn't like them. I do like Give Peace a Chance. This might be my favorite version to Give Peace a Chance. Uh, and I don't know, maybe Your Blues. I don't know.
Hmm.
Cold Turkey. This is my opinion.
Hmm.
Oh, there you go. Really love that version. There you go.
Mhm.
In most cases, corrected speed will only change the pitch of a song by a semitone, not radically change the tempo.
Mm. Yeah, so maybe they really did play them that fast.
Yeah.
Well, and
Uh,
they were nervous, so that could be a factor too.
Yeah.
okay. All right, now we're at this point where we're going into the top five.
Oh boy,
Woo.
it's getting real,
Let me just
folks.
put this up here
Songs will
first.
get better now.
I once tried to sync Lennon's Beatle vocal with Dizzy Miss Lizzy video from Plastic Ono Band. Totally different lines. He's often singing different things. All right. So here it is. Top five, if such a thing exists. These are our five favorites. I'm looking. Is it my five favorites? I could change. I'll change it tomorrow, but right now.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
So, Kit, let's start with you for number
Okay.
five.
Well, it's funny. Most of these are George lead vocal. I mean, that George really was the MVP for me. Number five, Chic of Araby. I love this. I just
Oh,
think it's so fun.
what
It's
did you
or
think of me putting it at number 15?
and or the Shriek of Araby, however you want to phrase this.
He does get into it.
He really does. I
You-
mean, he gives it 100%. I think, as we've talked about, this would have been fun to see live. I just think, I can just see them hamming it up. And it's, as we've been talking about, it's a novelty song. You have to keep that in mind. I like the interplay. I mean, yes, it's silly, but I just think it's a lot of fun, and I like George's performance on this. I just think he just has a lot of fun, and I just think he's, as I said, he's the star here. I mean, he sounds the least nervous of all of them, and I think it's a fun song, and they have a good time with it. So this has always been a sentimental favorite of mine, and so number five.
and that's what I love. I say this always at least once during one of these things. I love people having different opinions and so many
Yeah,
different picks where you can put stuff.
Yeah, yep.
absolutely.
And on that note, Tim, what do you have for number five?
Well, Tucker is a very intelligent person. At number five, I have a little girl. The last of
Yeah,
the
and
Lennon
I, by the way,
McCartney songs.
I want it number five now. I want to change it. I want it higher the more I think about it.
I think this is my favorite of the three Lennon McCartney songs. I think they put more work into it. I like the arrangement. They have vocal arrangements. They've got stuff going on. I think John sings it okay. I think he sings it at least better than Paul sang the other two.
Very
Mhm.
doo-woppy.
And I think it's
Whoa,
just the
whoa,
best
whoa,
of the three for
whoa.
me.
Yeah,
You're never
yeah.
gonna
There you
live that
go.
down,
And
Tim.
like again, McCartney is my favorite Beatle. I need to keep stressing this. I really am a
Oh,
Paul fan, but he hadn't figured it out yet.
Yeah, good way of putting it, and it's so hard to believe, but it's true,
Yeah.
and he made up for it big time
Oh yeah.
later on. All right, number five. Who knows how these things turn out and why, but as I was listening to the tracks this time, I put Memphis, Tennessee at number five. Uh, I don't have much to say about it. I like John's vocal in it. It's good, and I always liked the song. Uh, so that's it. Wish I could add more of interest,
Mhm.
but I don't. Let's see, go back. I don't have anything else of interest to say. I'm talking about from before. The two scenes are exactly what I missed in Get Back from before. Oh well, maybe when the original comes out. Yeah, there was stuff in the like Let It Be that we didn't get, and that's fine because Let It Be can be its own entity
Yeah.
in some cases with the stuff in there that
If
we didn't get and
if they
Get
ever
Back.
put it out.
Yeah. All right. Hello, Little Girl, number five for Tucker. Beautiful, like you said, beautiful for one of Lennon's first compositions. I feel terrible. Boy, I wanted it in the top five now.
Yeah, I
Before
know. Now I'm thinking maybe I should have ranked it
I hope
higher.
it's. Well, I did say. I hope it's me and love, love, love. Oh,
As
Lennon.
I said, they definitely sounded the most like polished on that. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's one where,
Yeah.
as I said, if I were thinking about signing them, I'd think, okay, this sounds the most
Yeah.
promising. Yeah.
Okay. Mark, fifth is Hello Little Girl, best of the
Yep.
three originals. When the foremost covered this, the bridge used a different chord structure. I prefer the Decca version.
Hmm.
Okay. Hello Little Girl. Wow. A lot of good support for Hello Little Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Uh, yeah, John's and Paul's harmonies very Everly-esque. Maybe that's part of what I'm liking
Good
about it
call.
too.
Good call. Yeah.
yeah, they did some work.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, the versions in Let It Be were also edited. For instance, in Besame Mucho, you only hear Paul say boom and not cha, not cha boom.
Cha Cha Boom is crucial. You have to have Cha Cha Boom.
You gotta have the cha cha boom.
Yeah, come on.
All right, number four we're up to. And Tim, you're starting us off, Mr. Allen.
Okay, and well, these are all really hard for me. Any of the top four could change places, but I went with Crying, Waiting, Hoping, covering Buddy Holly, George on vocal. As everybody's been saying, vocally, George was the MPB on this. He nails it. It could be number one. Any of these could change places. It's just a really good version of the song. Um, it's it, it- I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's a for these recordings, it's a very good version. It's a very good recording considering what else is on here.
Mm. All right. And Kit, what do you have for number four?
Um, another another George vocal. Three Cool Cats. I always love Three Cool Cats. I think this kind of shows one of the few times we see the humorous side of the Beatles on this. I mean, I think you really see their personalities. You can absolutely envision them performing this in the clubs. Similar to Chic of Araby. This is another one that this and Chica Verbi I had to kind of go with my heart on these because I've just always enjoyed them. I think Three Cool Cats really, and I believe this is a Lieber and Stoller composition if I'm remembering correctly,
I had things written down, but I don't have that one.
which is
I
I
think
think
it is.
I
I
think it
think it
is.
is.
Yeah,
I
and
think it is.
love them. It's just great lyrics, really funny, and they just Paul, George, and John just have such fun with it, and George does a great job on the lead vocals, having fun with the playful lyrics. Um, I just think this is such a fun track. So number four, Three Cool Cats.
All right, I'm glad to hear it get that. And John even talked about that. In I think it's the Andy Peebles interview of December the 6th, 1980. They talk a little bit about it. It has three cool cats. I think we did. But then again, I'm thinking if it was he, I don't know if he was talking about the BBC or the Decca tapes. I think he
Mhm.
was thinking it was a BBC recording.
Mhm.
But he mentioned three cool cats. He's like that's one that he
Yeah.
singled out. All right, Tim, you whatever tell you what a bright guy you are and what smart and what what good taste you have. Did I ever tell you that? Number four, I put crying, waiting, hoping. Buddy Holly, really good George vocal. I really like it a lot. Although I think again, I think Pete. I call it the drum roll. Pete does drummers out there could tell me, well, is this standard? Is this okay? It just sounds like he's just playing too much or something on there to me. So I'm trying to I've been not really killing Pete here. I don't think, but I'll mention it there, and maybe one other time to come.
Yeah,
But
I will
that's
talk
it.
about him. I haven't gotten there yet, but I will.
All right, so I'm looking forward to it. I don't know. Uh, Till there was you, number four. Paul's voice was okay. Loved the guitar work, but Pete's drumming wasn't really the best. Okay. There you go for that. So that's speaking of Peter. Three cool cats. Tim George is my favorite Beatle, and I love that he has so many leads on this.
Indeed.
Oh, okay. Number for fourth is Searchin'. I
Mhm.
sing this version to myself frequently. I get a kick out of the detective references. George's solo is weak, and the tremolo bar at the end is strange, but I like the song.
Mhm.
There you go. You got Three Cool Cats and Searchin', Lieber Stoller compositions.
Oh yeah, I forgot Searchin' was too. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot about that.
yeah. They're all
Uh,
coasters, I think, which was
Yeah,
always Lieber Stroller.
you're right.
the BBC versions of Three Cool Cats were never broadcast and certainly never released years later.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that.
All right. We got three left.
Okay.
So this is going to be exciting. And we're going to start with Kit first for number
Okay.
3.
Number 3, Crying, Waiting, Hoping.
Ah, even better taste than us.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm a Buddy Holly. I'm a sucker for Buddy Holly, first of all, and yeah, this is a good version. Just think it's George does a great vocal on this, and I just and the backing vocals too. I think they just do a really good salute to Buddy, and of course we all know Buddy Holly was a huge influence on them, and so this was, I think, one case where this was a good pick for them to showcase their talents. I mean, this was a good cover for them,
Yep.
and so yeah, so number 3.
Okay. Tim Allen, you're up for number 3.
Well, I'm with George again, and I've got to take good care of my baby. I think it's possibly, and I'm including my 2 picks above this, I think it's possibly the best recorded tune that they did on these sessions. If they would have been signed and for some reason called a single from this, I think that would have been the A side of the single. It's just a good version of the song. George nails the vocal, and they've pepped it up a little bit, and it's Pete's not even awful.
No?
That's not what I'm going to say about Pete, but it's good. It's good.
Oh, okay. All right. Lot of love for that. Okay, cool. Now, number 3, I have Like Dreamers Do at number 3. You know, I can't tell whether this was in my mind. It's, their originals. This is a early Paul McCartney, or mostly original. And the whole thing about, this is how Mark Lewison found out, this is how they really signed this interested uh, Ardmore and Beechwood, and all this kind of stuff. And I don't know if that was playing a factor. Like, I feel like I had to make them higher than they were. As we're talking here, and as I'm mulling these over in my mind, possibly there's songs that are better that I put lower on the list. I mean, recordings and songs and recordings. That should have been higher than these. But anyway, this particular listen, that's where I put it. Like Dreamers Do at number 3. I just wrote down that we've already covered this. Paul finding his voice, still trying to what is he going to sound like? He's trying to go all
Yeah.
over the place, sounding like other people. Sounds like he's imitating people. Sounds nervous. And I wrote here, Pete's drumming is erratic, but it's intriguing. There's something about it. I don't know. It might have been the first track they recorded. That's another thing. I was looking at the order that supposedly they've surmised the order that these were recorded. And I think that was the first one. Something about Pete's drumming I like on here, on this one. I don't know. It's not. I don't think it's necessarily good, if that makes sense, but it's interesting to me. Whatever he's doing. So number 3 for me, like dreamers do.
I like that song. I think that's one of their, one of my favorite of their early originals.
All right, crying, waiting, hoping. Number 3, George's vocals really good. Three Cool Cats, great George lead vocal, fun interjections from Paul and John. The second, Hey Man, save one chick for me. Cracks whenever as this phone. Yeah, see
Yeah,
that it works. It
it's
works good
fun.
there. I think that's fun. Oh, is anybody out there have a problem with chick?
Yeah,
I don't know. Three cool
it's
chicks.
all the time.
Yeah. What is this? They should have played at the Star Club only. Where Have You Been All My Life by Arthur Alexander.
Mm.
Got that, Tim? That praising with faint. I can't read that. Faint dam.
Dams.
Faint
No,
dams.
I
Hey,
don't.
for Farrell, we have Chic of Araby all the way
Hmm.
up there. Humor certainly does belong in music. You see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. And I've said this on many different podcasts I've been on. When something's working for you, it's great. You'll
Yeah,
criticize the same song for the same reason you like it when it's not working for you. Like I'll
Yep.
say Yellow Submarine. People like it's a kid's song. I say I love it. It was meant to be a kid's song, and it's great. The other people will say the frog chorus is
yeah,
terrible. It's a kid's song,
Hmm.
and I agree. It's a kid's song. We're all together now, you know. So I
Yep.
do that. And same thing here. I made a lot of examples here how humor. In some cases, I like the humor and it works for me. Like Three Cool Cats. Then I'm making fun or putting down Chic of Araby for
Hmm.
the. How does that work? When a song's working for you,
It's just,
it
yeah.
works.
Yep.
I don't know why. Yeah, I know birds. They call it women birds in Britain. They called them.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. So we're up to. We got two left. Is that it? Oh my.
yep.
Yeah.
Two left.
All right. So Tim, what do you have for number two out of this motley crew?
Well, I wanna preface my top two by saying I don't think these are the best songs that they recorded. They're just my favorites.
Oh, all right.
Okay, so I've got it number two. Believe it or not, money. That's what I want. And
Mm,
Wow.
I find it interesting. That's why I like it. I mean, it's almost a so bad it's good kind of thing. I like it's almost punk. That guitar at the beginning. I mean, it's almost punk. And this is where I want to talk about Pete Best's drumming because it seems to me that Pete Best never laid down a beat for them to follow, and that's part of the problem. It seems like he was actually following the guitars with his drumming, which isn't what a drummer is supposed to do at all. And it's really apparent on this song that John starts out, so then he just plays the same thing that John's playing on the drums, and
interesting.
it's
Good
Yeah.
weird,
point.
and it's not what a drummer is supposed to do, and that's why he wasn't a great drummer. But anyway,
Yeah.
this version, I mean, it isn't anywhere near as good as the later version, no, or the BBC version, or the version recorded in Sweden, or any other version they ever did, no. But there's something about it that I just really like. I don't know.
How about the Flying Lizards version?
I like that version too.
Yeah. How about Ringo's version?
No.
That's the only one. Yeah, that doesn't work out too good. All right, Kit, we're up to you. What do you have for number two?
Well, in the last few, Tim and I have been pretty close. Take good care of my baby. Is
Very
the
good.
number
Very good.
two. That's another good George lead vocal, and I think that is a solid version. And as you said, Tim, I mean, it could have been, that could have been a single. And I've just always thought that again they just sounded more in sync in this version. And I thought, again, I mean, George was really the star
Yeah,
of these sessions. I mean,
absolutely.
yeah, I mean, his vocals were far more confident. And he really he just so funny. I mean, compared to with poor Paul, we really kind of bashed him. But I mean, he just George did not sound nervous. He sounded like he was having, maybe he wasn't, but he sure sounded like he was having fun at various points. And he just does a really great lead on this.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my pick for number two.
Okay. For number two, I don't have much to say about this one. It's been covered already. I have nothing to add. Love of the Loved, I
Mhm,
put at number two. I do like the song, not one of the best
mhm,
that Paul's ever written, but I do like it within the context of these other songs. I have respect for it, being that it's an original. Um, Probably better than Like Dreamers Do, in my opinion. Um, Although I have an arrow here, three and two. Like I could have flipped them. I don't know. And I thought, well, one of these has to be number one, doesn't it? And I wound up not picking it for either of them, like Dreamers Do, nor Love of the Load for number one. So that's what I have for number two. Um, we got Memphis, Tennessee at number two. Great Tom Tom work.
Yep.
Ringo did the same on BBC versions. John gets most of the lyrics other than Small Coat right. He says Smonkle. How many times I got to tell you that he's not saying small coat? What the hell does small coat mean?
I actually wish it was Small Coat.
I know. I
like
kind of
that.
like that better.
As a nickname for like a little 6-year-old girl or something. That's a great name, Small Coat. Come here, Small Coat. That's a great. I love that. I wish
Yeah,
it
I like
was
that
true.
lyric better. And yeah, I agree, Mark. I think that is one of Pete's best, no pun intended, drumming performances on this. I agree. Joe? Oh, is he frozen?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, I think he's frozen.
I think maybe he is.
Yeah. Uh-oh, I think he's frozen.
Well, we're gonna leave you. We're gonna leave you in suspense.
All
folks.
right,
Good night.
Oh, we're gonna leave you in some more suspense, folks, for number one. Oh man. All right, while he's getting back online, yeah, we can read. Well, we can't. I don't think we can. No, we can't take off. So we'll be enjoying Mark's comment a little longer, but we can read some of these other ones aloud. Let's see. Yeah, Small Coat is. Yeah, I like the Small Coat line. I think I'm gonna sing that from now on for sure. Let's see. Oh, Joe. Oh, Joe said lost internet. Oh dear.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Okay, well, we may be finishing this off ourselves. I'm not sure. Let's see. Oh, okay. He says stand by. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, we can read some of the comments here.
Yes.
So hang on, folks. Layla said Pete Best has cut Joe off. Yep, Pete's watching and is enacting his revenge. Oh my God. Okay, let's see. Paulina, does Love of the Love just pure McCartney? And yeah, that kind of is.
Yeah.
It does sound. That sounds like a. Let's see. Farrell McNulty said number two, like Dreamers Do. Okay. Wow. So you're going to get a number two.
Wow. Well, it's not a bad song.
Oh no.
It's just sung rather poorly.
Yeah. Let's see. Tucker. Yeah, I agree that Pete Best was, speeding through "Take Good Care of My Baby." Although I don't know if that's entirely, his fault, because a lot of the songs they were kind of rushing through. I don't know if that. I don't know. What do you think?
I think he's following the band. I don't think he's leading the band, which is part of the problem, as I said before. So I think he's playing to the speed that they're playing. I don't think it's necessarily vice versa. A drummer should be leading, and I don't think he did. And that's part of the problem.
That was a really good point, Tim, that you made, because that, I think you're absolutely right. That you would normally think the drummer leads.
Yeah, the drummer sets the tempo, and he wasn't. I don't think he's. I mean, I think the best word for Pete Best drumming is adequate.
Yes, you are absolutely right. You are absolutely
that old British. We built things in a shed. Oh, it'll do. That's Pete's drumming, which
he gets the job done.
Yeah, it gets the title do. It's good enough.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. But he, I mean it's nothing special.
In his defense, up to that point, as far as Beatle drummers go, he was certainly the best that they'd had so far. So kudos
Yep.
to him for that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. But I thought that was an excellent point. Um, okay, so Mark said George kind of counts it off with his guitar notes after the intro. So I don't know if I'm not sure you can blame Pete for the speed of "Take Good Care," but
Yeah.
that's true. But oh no, no, yeah, it's just did Ringo ever count in the Beatles? It always seemed to be John, Paul, or George saying some variety of 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's kind of yeah.
Yeah,
Some of the songs he
but he
did.
but he set the pace. He was, where Pete's just kind of like I said, listen to Money and you'll see what I mean. I mean, John starts Money and then Pete and he's playing what John's playing on the guitar. I mean, that's
Mhm.
I mean, I suppose there is no proper way to drum. You can drum that way, but it's not what most drummers do.
Yeah, that's true. That is, really unusual. Um, and oh yeah, Carter's remaster said I think McCartney might have drummed a few times in the early Johnny and the Moondogs days. Well, of course, yeah, Paul, drums as well. Although,
Yeah.
he's not Ringo.
No,
I
Paul's
mean,
a very odd drummer too.
yeah, yep, absolutely. And again, I've met Pete. He's a great, nice guy. I mean, he really is. And so we don't mean to bash him personally or anything, but it
No.
just, you really, I mean, I love Ringo's drumming on with the Beatles, for example. I mean, he has such power in his drumming on that. I mean, I love that sound, and boy, do you miss it here.
And he sort of swings, if you know what I mean. He's got a flow. It comes very natural to him.
Yep.
Joe,
Well, oh,
welcome to FaB.
oh man, was that not perfect? But was I the only one who? I was the only one down.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, because you know what happened? Once it was perfect timing too, because I said it's not small coat or whatever, and then there was like a little glitch in the light, and then I lost internet.
Oh
So
wow.
something must
People
have happened.
people were saying it was Pete's revenge.
Well, wait a minute. I don't know how I'm going to leave this. So if you guys were riding the ship and talking about things, then
Yeah, no, we were talking.
it
Yeah,
works out fine.
we were
Yeah, we
actually
were
talking
talking.
about Pete Best's drumming.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
he's probably going to go after. So if one of us disappears or both of us, you'll know why.
Yeah.
This is like this was like a first time something like that happened, and I got to
Wow.
Yeah.
say, sometimes it makes for an interesting live chat. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. We were all talking about
And
Pete and his skills, which we actually hadn't had much of a chance to talk about
Yeah.
before. So we covered that for you. So no problem.
yeah, all right. Thank you so much. I figured I was in capable hands.
Yeah,
So,
no worries.
all right. So, the funny thing is, too, it's like just before number one. It's like, oh, the
Yeah.
show's ending before we
We
Yeah.
do
said
our
that
Yeah,
number
we're
one.
like,
I mentioned that. I said, well, we're leaving you in suspense. Bye, folks.
yep,
Oh,
absolutely.
okay. I don't even know. I'm looking. Blue, 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 blue. Wow, there's a lot of stuff here.
Mhm. Yep, yeah, we were talking about Pete.
I have to get it. Yeah.
Yeah, small
Yeah.
coat.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm just catching up on some of these for posterity to put them up here.
small coat
Uh,
is the word.
I could always
Is the
edit
word.
all that out, but
Mhm.
probably won't. Let's. All right.
Yeah, small coat are the words of the day.
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. He doesn't have a reason that George Martin didn't feel his drumming was up to snuff, really. But then again, supposedly Ringo also the first time he wasn't wild about.
Mhm.
All right, so we're gonna do number one now. Somebody's already
Okay.
got a number one here. All right, so whether I decide to edit this or not, I don't know. So I'm gonna just come out fresh. Here we go.
All right, here we go, folks.
All right, so we're up to number one here, folks, and the moment I know you've all been dying to hear. All right, so let's start with Kit to do the honors for number one.
Okay, well, Tim's not going to be happy with this pick,
Uh-oh.
which is To Know Her Is to Love Her. It's I really like their version. I love the harmonies. Good lead vocal from John here. I just think this was a good showcase for them. Now, I agree, doo-wop wasn't, all they were about. That's true. Although, I just thought though this was a good showcase for the good showcase for the harmonies they could do. And I just thought this was a really really good version of a great song. And I just thought this was a real standout of these sessions. So I just thought, again, I was trying to put myself in the mindset of Dick Rowe, and I thought, if I heard this, I'd think, okay, this group has some vocal talent here.
Hmm.
So I really like this track. So that's my number one.
Well, I'm going to jump ahead for the first time and go next because, Kit, I always tell you from day one when we did Talk More Talk, we kind of were in sync. Maybe not as much now as we used to be at times, but I must say, Kid, I've always said you have good taste. I've always said you know what you're talking about, and you're brilliant anyway. How in the world, out of 15 tracks, without us checking with each other, could
Yep.
we both have "To Know Her Is to Love Her" at number one? I was listening to it again, all of it, and it's just a beautiful vocal, such soft John vocal. We talked about this. Remember, is Ken Michaels out there listening? Ken, what do you know? John could do sweet songs too. You know what I mean, right?
That's right.
Seriously. Phil Spector's song, "To Know
Mhm.
Him Is to Love Him." That was off his father's grave, right? That was the sentiment that was on the tombstone. Was it his dad? I think it was, and that's what he
Mhm.
wrote. He wrote the song, Phil Spector. To know her is to know him is to love him. I think it's a good performance. I like what you said. I didn't have that in my notes, kid,
Mhm.
but what you said about if I was listening to this, I would think, boy, they got some ability there for this. I really never thought of this before going into this as a
Mhm.
contender for number one. I always liked it. I liked the song,
Mhm.
but when I listened to them all this time for this show, I thought, yeah, I might put that at number one, even ahead of the originals.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, recorded by the Teddy Bears. Mark, yes, thank you.
Yes.
Uh, and yeah, I put that for number one. That's why I just jumped in this time. I thought we'd put it together, and now
Yep.
that leaves us with a different number one from Tim Allen. Tim, what do you have for
Yes, it
number one?
does. And I'm going to let everybody down. But I want to reiterate what I said last time. Um, my number one and two, I don't think are the best songs on here, but they just are my personal favorites.
Sure.
And so, number one, I've got Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, that's
I
pretty
just
Wow.
cool.
think they did a good job. It's the first version I think I ever heard of Memphis, Tennessee. Maybe I heard Johnny Rivers' version. I certainly hadn't heard Chuck Berry's by the time I heard the Beatles.
Mhm.
And I just think they do a really good job on it. I like the small coats thing, whether it's there or not. I like it. I like John's vocal on it. I think they do a really good job. I like the kind of boom boom. I
Mhm.
as opposed to Johnny Rivers was just kind of rocks through it. I like that they slow it down a little bit.
Mhm.
I just like it. And if I'm going to play a song from this like on my podcast, that would that's I have played that, and that would be the
Ooh.
first choice off of this album as a song to play. That would be my go-to. So
Hooray for Small Coat. Yes. You hear that, Mike? My friend Mike? You hear
there
that,
you
Mike?
go.
Small Coat.
Small coat.
And odd choice.
Small Coat. Who is Small Coat anyway? Still trying to figure it out. Well, I had a ball with this, other than the technical difficulties that we experienced at the end. But this was so much fun. Let's go and see
Yeah.
some of the comments. Yes, the incident before was as suspenseful as a Marvel movie.
It was.
Oh man, I didn't know. I mean, the first thing I did, but well, I'm not gonna say too much. But I'll just say I put the camera down. First thing I did,
Mhm.
as I was trying to figure this out.
Oh man.
My first is "Crying, Waiting, Hoping." Good choice, Mark.
That was
George's, be-
close for me.
yeah,
Very
yes.
close.
George's best vocal, great Buddy Holly song, great performance. BBC version's nearly identical. I was surprised to put this at number one, but I've grown to love it. There you go.
Mhm.
Good choice, good choice. Love of the loved, I can respect
Mm.
that. car opening is just beautiful. Paul's vocals were pretty good. Cilla Black version wasn't really good.
Yeah, I didn't love that version.
I see the love of the love. I'm trying to remember how it sounded.
Yeah.
Overall performance. What is this?
Yeah.
Overall performance by each member, worst to best. 4 Pete Best, 3 Paul McCartney, 2 John Lennon, 1 George. I might put Paul number 4. I don't know.
I would.
Ooh.
I mean, on this, I don't know. You know, it's hard to believe, but
Mhm.
yeah, right.
Just
Think of the music
amazing.
they were doing only a year and a half later.
Yeah. Uh-oh, I think Joe froze again.
It happened again, but
Oh
luckily I
no,
came
oh
right.
no, you're back,
Okay,
you're back.
I
whoa.
know. Yes, I came right back. I don't know what's. Let's end
Phew.
this before I never come back. I don't know what's going on, folks. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And Tim Allen, name your podcast for everybody. They could hear you.
Well, it
There it
is
is.
the Snap Crackle and Pop Vinyl Hour, and I just changed my name to that. And it's an all vinyl podcast. I've been doing it for like 10 years. And check it out if you never have. There you go.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Was Small Coat a thing in 1962? I don't know. Okay, and Kit, tell us all about your latest endeavors and such.
Okay, well, of course, you can find me and Joe, as well as Ken Michaels and Tom Vignotti on Talk More Talk, a solo Beatles videocast. We're on every other Monday, 9 o'clock Eastern, on our YouTube channel. You can also find me at the Fest for Beatles fans in Chicago, which is coming up. It's August 12th through the 14th. You can find out all the details on thefest.com. The schedule isn't up yet. It should be up pretty soon. And we'll be, of course, as soon as we know the schedule and all, I will post everything up on the Talk More Talk page, on my page, on Facebook, where, of course, you can follow me. And you can also sign up now. I'm teaching 2 classes on the roots of rock and roll. One is starts in September. The other one starts in December. And I have info on how you can sign up for those on also my Facebook page and also the Talk More Talk Facebook page. So it's all about the roots. The first part will be about gospel, blues, R&B. The second part in December will focus on country, yes, skiffle, and folk. So it will be a great time. So that's right now all I'm up to.
All right, so I concur with this sentiment coming up here. Let's get out while we still can. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. This was a fun time.
This
Thank
was
you.
awesome.
One of my favorites of these. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Kit. Talk
Thanks,
to you all
Joe.
soon. And
Welcome.
remember, I'm looking for you. Who you when you first said hello. That's how I know what you're talking about. All right, everybody. Have a good laugh. See you.